Welcome back to another Cube video. My name is Edward, also known as Strategy. And we have some pretty interesting takes here. There's Urza, there's Balance, Teferi, even Duress, I think are all very defensible. I wouldn't hate anyone for taking Emperor of Bones either. It's just a very fun card. You don't have to be dedicated Reanimator for this card to be good. I think biasly, I kind of want to take the Urza. Excuse me. Maybe the Kappa comes back. The Kappa's kind of likely to come back. I could also just see taking a Duress, but I think Urza is the most powerful card here, so I'm just going to take it. Mox Emerald. Aw, dang, no pick 2 Mox Emerald. Okay, well... There's a Stoneforge Mystic to go with that Batter Skull, which is kind of funny. But here I'm going to take Skull Clamp. I don't think Skull Clamp will wheel. Maybe the Stoneforge Mystic does. If we see the Batter Skull come back, I'll take it more than likely, just in the hopes that Stoneforge comes back, because I already want the Stoneforge to go with my Skull Clamp. So, but we'll have to see. If it doesn't, then maybe this Timeless Dragon comes back as a way to kind of blue-white fetch. I don't really want my artifact decks to be green, so I'm not really interested in these green duels and utility lands. Zurin Orb wouldn't be a terrible wheel either, because one of the exceptions I have is Titania. So, not that Titania is good in an artifact deck, but at least I have a reward for playing Zurin Orb outside of Titania with Urza. So yeah, I'm going to take the Skull Clamp. Okay, so... this pack is kind of meh. I could ditch the Urza and build towards a Lurrus deck. That could be very fun. I have yet to do that. I don't think I've done it in any of the cubes, but if I have, I definitely haven't done it in the third rendition. Alternately, I could go with the Jace. I don't think I'm a Frantic Search deck. If I had the Emperor of Bones or like the Duress or something, maybe I take Deep Cavern Bat here or even Unearth. But you know what? The more I think about it, I think I am going to take Lurrus, because Unearth is a great card to go in Lurrus because you can get back the Lurrus if they manage to destroy it. And I'm only giving up Urza if I companion it. So yeah, I'm going to take the Lurrus here. Let's see if I regret that decision. So, all right, we could take a Daze. But here I'm going to take Chromatic Star, because either I end up a Lurrus deck, in which case Chromatic Star is a recurable draw engine, or I end up an Urza deck, and yeah, Chromatic Star is a Mox Sapphire that sacks itself is pretty good. So I think the correct choice here, regardless of, because we have these 3 cards specifically, like regardless which way we want to build towards it, I think Chromatic Star is the correct choice. So I'm going to take it. Oh, that's a Flooded Strand. Map is not a terrible one either, but here I'm going to take Flooded Strand. Maybe Thunder Trap Trainer comes back. That'll be another cool one with the Lurrus. And if we can Offspring it, the Offspring dies to the Skull Clamp because it's just a 1/1. It always was weird to me that it's always a 1/1, but keep in mind I don't play Standard or anything, so maybe that was explained. I don't know, but either way, I'm taking Flooded Strand here. Excuse me. Well, there's the Titania. I don't think it's correct in any way, shape, or form at this point. Here I'm just going to probably take the Flooded Strand. We probably want to end up base white because of the Lurrus. And we already have a Flooded Strand. I know this doesn't help the Flooded Strand at all, but in one way or another, we're playing these colors more than likely, so I'm just going to take it now. I mean, there's an Ocelot Pride. There's also an Astrolabe's Planisphere, which, again, with Lurrus, we can keep cycling Chromatic Star to kind of trigger it. But I'm just going to take the Ocelot Pride. That has to be the choice here, in my opinion. Okay, well, there's not much for us in this pack. I could consider taking I could consider taking Lightning Greaves. I could also consider taking Unholy Heat, even though we don't have fixing for it yet. We don't have fixing for the Mai either. I'm just going to take the Unholy Heat. I think that's the best choice for us. I really want this Lurrus to work. Oh, wow. So Batterskull did come back. Obviously, we can't Lurrus if we Batterskull, though. So yeah, I'm going to take the Smuggler's Copter. This is also a way we can discard things and then get them back with Lurrus. No Stoneforge Mystic. All right, dang. All right. Well, the Timeless Dragon did come back. We did end up with a Hollowed Fountain. However, Containment Priest might be the choice here too. No, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Ignore everything I said. This is a 5-mana spell, so that makes it super easy. I was probably going to go with the Containment Priest anyways, but yeah, this is a 5-mana permanent. We cannot Lurrus Companion, so let's just take that. And at this point, I feel pretty safe pitching this Urza because Unearth did wheel, so now we want to be looking for black fixing. I think I'd rather be, I could still be 4-color, of course, but I'd rather be black than red at this point because the Unearth, I think, is just stronger than the Unholy Heat. With that said, I want to take the Amped Raptor for now. And there, we could still very much so consider playing 4-color because Skull Clamp does hit the Amped Raptor pretty well. Yeah, we're gonna take that black-white land. That was nice. I'm not going to call it a gift because I don't think people take the man lands very highly, and I think mostly because they're tap lands that aren't fetchable. Yeah, we'll take the other. We'll take the playable versus the non-playable, but also this increases our chances of being 4-color. This should be a fun deck. I'm very excited. I don't, correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free. But I don't think I've played a dedicated Lurrus deck yet. Okay, so there's a Baleful Strix, which is incredibly nice with the Lurrus. There's also this Triome that our Flooded Strand gets. So our Flooded Strand gets all 4 colors if we take this Triome. With that said, it is a Triome. Triomes are likely to wheel, and we saw this in pack 1, so it has the highest chance to wheel back to us. I'm going to take the Baleful Strix. I think the Baleful Strix is just gonna be the best card for us. Oh, there's a Swords to Plowshares. That's a gift. There's also a Force of Will though, but we don't seem to be too much in blue. I would love to take this Force of Will, but I don't think it's correct. Hopefully we get the Staff of the Storyteller back. I wouldn't mind getting that. The token it generates clamps and it replaces itself eventually. If not, go for the Throats. A decent chance to wheel, and then at absolute worst, we'll take Elegant Parlor probably. These are all cards I'm really interested in. Notably, we can play Lorien Revealed, because unlike the Dragon, this is not a permanent. So it's just we don't, outside of literally Hollowed Fountain, we don't have a way to search up a non-island, so it's just the one so far. It'd obviously be better if we had, obviously, at least one more choice. But yeah, we're going to take Swords to Plowshares here. I don't think that decision's personally close. Okay, this is untapped black from our Flooded Strand now. Dark Ritual, we're not really a Dark Ritual deck. I don't want to play Sunset Saboteur. Iron Shield Elf is really not for us. Mystical Tutor, we don't really have anything that I'm interested in for Mystical Tutor. So, yeah, I think I'm just happy to take this Godless Shrine, honestly. I thought this was an Underground Sea for a second. Oh. Here's some more fetchables. Heartless Act. We can play Stock Up. We can play Phantasmal Image, but I find that Phantasmal Image wheels a lot. Unmarked Grave, funnily enough, is kind of a tutor with our Lurrus. So I already have the 2 worst versions of these 2 lands. I think I'm supposed to take Stock Up here because I already have the shock versions of these. And I think Stock Up's the least likely card to come back. Again, I can play Stock Up. It's not a permanent. Well, there's an Underground Sea. or not an underground sea, sorry, an undercity sewers, but it's basically an underground sea. I wouldn't hate Thalia here either. There's also a Jit, and honestly, if I had the Stoneforge Mystic, I could see taking the Jit, but I'm not going to take it here. I think here I'm just going to focus on my mana, and now that I have kind of the trinity of colors, for the Esper colors at least, I'm much happier. This Flooded Strand is definitely going to be doing some work. I would like to get a red land that's fetchable off of it if I want to continue playing Unholy Heat and Amped Raptor, but keep in mind I don't have to play them yet. But this Black Cleave Cliffs is definitely helping with that. Kroxa is a reason to play the red, and it fits in our Lurrus deck, and at worst I can just keep recasting it. That's actually kind of insane. My first thought was like, so my literal first thought was, am I supposed to take this a braid? That's not very exciting. And then I saw the expressive iteration and realized that it's not too difficult to cast. However, I think Kroxa is just better. I really do. I think our fixing is decent enough. We obviously need a little bit more red, but even at worst, just recasting this out of our yard with Lurrus over and over every turn. I actually really like that. Oh, there's a Dark Confidant. Oh man. So I would love this Creeping Tar Pit. I really would. Or even this Mother of Runes. But Dark Confidant is built for Lurrus. I mean, this is just like the perfect Dark Confidant deck, in my opinion. And I already kind of wanted to play black because of the Unearth, and then obviously we took Baleful Strix. But with Dark Confidant, I can fully say that we are 100% black. Okay, Tragic Trajectory is a nice one. Hymn to Turok's an even nicer one. Obviously, we can't play Harvester or Borogoyf. However, because we have this Kroxa, I think I have to take this starting town. I understand at least one person's probably mad at me for not taking this Hymn to Turok. I don't know if our black fixing's that good, and I want to play the cards that we've already taken, and starting town helps us with that a lot. Okay, that's perfect. This isn't a terrible Toxic Deluge deck, honestly, because if I've Toxic Deluged before I've Lurrused, then it doesn't matter that I wipe my own board, but this gives our, not starting town, this gives our Flooded Strand all 4 colors, which is really nice. So I'm going to take that. That was a gift that wield. Oh, and go for the Throat wield. Oh, but Staff of the Storyteller did too. How many creatures do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot of removal. I might regret getting rid of passing on this Go for the Throat. I really might, but I'm gonna take the Staff of the Storyteller. Okay, now there's a Collected Brutality. It's also a Fresh Start. And the Elf I'm just really not interested in. I'm really not. Let's take the Collected Brutality. Oh, Phantasmal Image is so good, but I'm going to take the dual land. In this deck specifically, I really want to be able to cast my spells. Okay, Thalia is not the end of the world. Most of my things are creatures or cheap, and we already know my opinion on the Jit most of the time. And I may not play the Thalia, but wow, really? I mean, yeah, that's definitely a playable. Sorry, I realized I completely stopped my thought. I think Thalia is going to be good enough. It also clamps if I want it to, and the Jit, you have to have other creatures, and I really hate when our opponent has a 1 to 2 mana play that blows out like our 2 to 4 mana play, and Jit doesn't do anything by itself. So now that I finished that thought, let's get to this pack. So I think we have enough duels that I don't have to consider this Underground Sea, even though I would love it. Luckily, our Flooded Strand already gets untapped black, so it's not that big of a miss. I have 15 seconds. The 2 cards I'm really looking at are the Orcish Bowmasters and the Bauble. I unfortunately am going to have to pass the Bauble, as Orcish Bowmasters is just one of those cards I don't think is really passable if you can help it. And the Shadow, I think I do want it a lot, but I think that'll has a very good chance of wheeling. Okay, so there's another couple of options here. So we have the Lingering Souls, really good with Skull Clamp, of course, and it has flashback, which is nice. There's the Ragavan. There's a Snapcaster Mage, which currently I think is best for the swords, but technically also unearth. Funnily enough, you can unearth Snapcaster Mage and then Snapcaster Mage unearth again, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I don't think we're a good Snapcaster Mage, so I'm going to stop considering it. I think at this point, it's either... I'd like to keep my red to a minimum if I can, honestly, so I don't think I'm going to take the Ragavan. I don't have a lot of red sources, so turn 1 Ragavan's just not going to happen a whole lot. So I think it's either the Lingering Souls or the Malcolm. I'm going to take the Malcolm, because I think Lingering Souls has a way higher chance of wheeling. Oh, wow. So I can't take Eagles for the same reason I couldn't take the Dragon. That is a fetchable red source. I love Mana Drain. I really do. I don't think Mana Drain's the best in this deck, although I will say the one caveat to Mana Drain is that we'll always have a use for the mana because of Lurrus. With that said, if we want to make this red splash real, and at minimum I do because of Kroxa, I think the correct choice here is taking the Steam Vents. We now have a fetchable untapped source of red with the Flooded Strand. And I think that's worth giving up a Mana Drain, because with this type of deck, we don't really want to be holding up Mana Drain anyways, in my honest opinion. So I'm just going to take the Flame Slash. I'm just going to take the Steam Vents, and then I was going to say, hopefully the Flame Slash wheels. Got ahead of myself there. Oh, Dismember is a great one. Oh, there's also a Strip Mine. Is Strip Mine good in our 4-color deck? Probably not. I'm probably supposed to take Dismember, in all honesty. I don't think we need to take the farm. I think our mana is good enough without that. I just keep passing on removal. But it's Strip Mine. I mean, it slows down our opponent's Broken Academy decks. I think I am going to take the Strip Mine. I could play this as a spell if I want to. I really like this Dismember, and it's not going to wield, but I'm going to take the Strip Mine. Oh, wow. There's a few good options here for us. 30 seconds. All right, so Night's Whisper obviously is a draw 2 at base is nice. The Miscalc, very easily, very splashable, also cycles. There's also Corey Steelcutter. We do have a bunch of 1s and 2s and a decent draw engine, so getting this to trigger's not the worst. There is a Bauble that has, I would say, like a 30-ish% chance to wheel. I think this has the highest upside. I'm going to take it. Can't take the Troll for reasons I've already said. I kind of like, even though it doesn't clamp very well, the 3 minutes. Oh, there's a Fire Covenant. We're taking that. Fire Covenant's a slam dunk. One-sided board sweeper. Yes, please. That's a Chain Lightning. That's a Verge. I like both of them, but because I keep passing removal, I think I need to take the Chain Lightning here. Oh, that's a Petal. That's also a Blood Crypt. Wow. We don't have a Blood Crypt yet. I mean, Savai is like a tapped Blood Crypt. But I'm going to take the Petal. We have Lurrus, so Petal is reusable, which is not... Oh, the Bauble did wheel. That's incredible. I mean, if the Bauble didn't wheel, I'm taking Sunbaked Canyon or Dothy Voidwalker, like I said earlier. But, yeah, we're going to take Bauble because we took this Corey Steelcutter and Bauble's great with it. Okay, Lingering Souls did wheel. I could play this land, but I'm just not going to. Lingering Souls is the only playable. I'm really excited to build this deck. And even with all these lands, we're still going to have to make cuts. So that'll be interesting. Flame Slash wheeled. Fantastic. We love that. Glad I took that those extra red sources. Really glad I took Starting Town. Really glad I took Steam Vents. It's really paying off for these late red cards that I've picked up, including the Fire Covenant. So I'm glad I didn't abandon red. And I'm glad that I took the disciplined picks when I needed to. Also, getting that Chain Lightning, it's not Dismember, but it was a nice reward for passing the Dismember. So I think, feel free to criticize me. Obviously, I'm always open for that, especially constructive criticism. But I think I navigated this draft pretty well, all things considered. Okay, well, 3 unplayables and a card I probably won't play anyways, but I mean, I'm going to take the playable. Also, I'm really good at not playing my pack 1 pick ones. Oh, Night's Whisper did wheel. Great. Yeah, I really hope we don't 0-3 this draft, but I am very happy with how I executed this draft. Yeah, we'll take another duel. Well, I will see you in the deck tech. The NYSE is returning for its 10th installment. This event will be held June 6th at the Knights of Columbus in Patchogue, New York. Top 8 prizes include all 5 Moxen, Time Walk, Ancestral Recall, and even a Black Lotus. Proxies are allowed for this event. Please use the link in the description for more information on proxies and other questions you may have. Now let's get back to the video. So this is the 40 I ended up going with. Notably, some cuts I made. I did cut the Dragon Rage Channeler. I don't think it's bad with this deck, but we have so many awesome playables that I don't think the minor synergy of sometimes this putting something in our yard for Lurrus to get back is going to be good enough. Similar vein, I didn't play the Smuggler's Copter. Similar to just how equipment really works, you have to have other threats to make this good, and I had to make cuts somewhere, and I felt like this was honestly one that was worth it. I think because of the stock up, obviously the Skull Clamp, like with Lingering Souls and like everything else here, the Staff of the Storyteller, I think we have so much value in this deck that we don't need Smuggler's Copter. I think this is more so for like Boros or Mono White without like Storyteller and Skull Clamp or something to kind of have some filtration. So, also, I ended up not playing the Thalia. I just think our threats are a lot better. I hate that this isn't best of 3, so I can't board it in when applicable, but there's not a whole lot of people playing Storm, and this can slow down and kind of time walk control decks a little bit, but I find that there's just so much removal that if this is a problem, it'll just get hit, and then, or they can just not care, because maybe they flood out, or maybe they have a Moxen draw, and spend a turn playing a couple Moxen, and then now Thalia is kind of irrelevant. The first strike is super relevant. Honestly, the first strike is the reason why she lasted as long in my paper cube as she did. I did eventually cut her though for similar reasons. But yeah, I just felt like all of these other choices were just better. And then I didn't play the Collective Brutality either. There are some synergies with Lurrus, obviously discarding something I can get back with later, but I don't think that the worse duress mode is that worth it, and we ended up with a lot of removal, or at least enough in my opinion, that we don't need the Collective Brutality. So back to what I did keep. Obviously the Dark Confidant, Knight's Whisper, those are great ways to draw cards. Staff of the Storyteller, even with just like Lingering Souls, I think Staff of the Storyteller is still worth it, but we still have Ocelot Pride, which is another way to keep triggering it. And then obviously the Corey Steel Cutter. So even without those other options, I probably still play Staff of the Storyteller here. But the fact that it synergizes with a little bit more definitely made me want to keep it around. Malcolm was another card I was close to cutting, but I ended up thinking the way I kind of decided to leave this in was that it was just better. It was just better Smuggler's Copter, in my opinion. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. It was just better Smuggler's Copter in my opinion. So, yeah, so it's here. I think it's better than those other cards I talked about and ended up cutting. Lotus Petal and Mishra's Baubles, very nice. Flame Slash, Unholy Heat, Chain Lightning, I'm really glad it got those. Chromatic Star, something I didn't mention earlier, is that Chromatic Star is actually going to be very instrumental in making sure we can cast all of our spells. So that's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be involved a lot, both in the fact that it discards itself and helping us cast our Kroxa. So yeah, I'm very excited for this draft. I pray I do not 0-3 it. And one more side note, I am playing 16 lands. The Lotus Petal is, I know it's not a real land, but it's kind of taking that place. I could have maybe cut one more spell, but I think the mana base here is going to be good enough. So yeah, I will see you in round 1. I am proud to announce the 2026 Oklahoma Land Run Weekend, July 10th through the 12th. This event will be held at the Reed Convention Center in Midwest City, Oklahoma. Join me and my vintage family for a weekend of Magic the Gathering events featuring huge prizes and competitive play across multiple formats. Main events include a Vintage, a Legacy, and a Team Trios event, including Vintage, Legacy, and Modern. Don't have power? No worries. You can proxy any card currently on the reserve list. Side events so far include a High Roller Vintage Cube for Power Thursday evening, at least one old school charity event, a pre-modern challenge also Thursday evening hosted by GameHQ, Duel Commander, and even more to follow. For more information, please use the links in the description to join the Oklahoma Land Run Discord. I'll see you there. Now let's get back to the video. Welcome to round 1. I am very excited for this draft. We don't have any power, but hey, this is all right. We don't have black yet, which is kind of a concern, but we do have Staff of the Storyteller to help us get there. Let's keep. If they play something that we care about, turn 1, we'll Chain Lightning. Oh, that's the black source we need. That was a really great draw, because this can come into play untapped if we want it to. Scythe Cat cut. Oh wow, they have Strip Mine as well. Well, I think I'd rather them hit the Steam Vents here. And I think they're more apt to do that if we shock it in, because it might lead them to believe that that's our only red source. And if they don't Strip Mine us, that's fine, because then I can go Staff of the Storyteller, hold up draw, or just play Dark Confidant. Uh-oh, Mox Jet. That increases their chances of wanting to Strip Mine. Okay, they do not. And now they play their land. All right, let's draw a 1-drop or a 0-drop. That's a 1-drop. So here, I think I further want to increase, because again, I want my black sources to be a thing. So I want them to hit the Steam Vents here. We don't have another blue card yet. So let's play the Plains. Let's play the Quarry. And I'm going to play the Skull Clamp. That was a very good draw for multiple reasons. And here I'm just going to attack, because next turn they can attack as a 4-3 and I'm not blocking. So I might as well attempt to attack now while we could trade. Okay, they do not take the trade. Yep. I mean, I hope they don't Strip Mine us, but oh. Okay, well, there's not much we could have done about that. Swords of the Plowshares is our best out. So I don't have the mana. Okay, I think I'm supposed to just play Staff, not trigger the Quarry. Yep. So something I could have done is played 2 things, made another thing, but I don't think that's correct. I think I'm supposed to just Skull Clamp this and hope to draw Swords to Plowshares, and I'll have 2 turns to do it. And I did. That's excellent. And now we can even attack for 4. Attack for more, actually. Well, I'm glad I was a little bit more patient. Nick, I hope you're proud of me. I didn't just slam some spells. Okay. So here, excuse me. I'm sorry for my cough. I know it's kind of ruining the quality of this video. So they have 2 cards left. I think I want a Croxa and then Ocelot Pride. They have to choose one of them. And again, they just have not been, they have not been Strip Mining us, not complaining. Okay, we got rid of that. That's nice. Now we get to Ocelot Pride. I don't think it matters. So now I can clamp. I can attack all out, let them, kill something. I need to get them down eventually. And then I can just clamp something afterwards. I'm just going to clamp now and not attack. Okay, well, I already triggered that, so I don't want to play my Lotus Petal yet. This will be another easy trigger for next turn. I wish I had a way to gain life here. Yep, and if they don't play their last card, I will Croxa them. Okay, they are going to play their last... Or are they... Oh, they're cracking map. Interesting. I wonder if it's just another big spell like Crater Hoof. Either way, it definitely incentivizes me to want a Croxa if I can. Hopefully they just surveil this for our sake. They did not. And they're cracking. Okay, so they're getting it now. Interesting. Well, this might be the turn they finally strip mine us, which I think it's too little too late on the strip mine. Okay, they're still choosing not to strip mine us. Interesting. What does this do? Okay, this would be nice, but again, I don't want them to strip mine me, so attacking them with it while the strip mine's untapped seems very wrong. Here, I think I'll tap and let's play the Night's Whisper. Oh, Unearth. That's a nice one, because now I can attack with the Ocelot Pride and then unearth it back to start that chain. Let's Lotus Petal. I don't think I'm going to get to the Croxa. Yes. So I have 4 mana. I could, if they choose to block the 2/2 Quarry Steel Cutter, I could pump it. I'm going to attack all out because I still have the Unearth Ocelot Pride play if they choose to block that. I would like to get those tokens going. They choose not to block any of it. Well, that just seems like the worst option. So maybe I just unearth Croxa and make them discard. So I need to get 2 cards in my yard in order to Croxa, and I don't think I can do that with my current situation. So let's just Croxa again this way. Okay, yeah, no Green Sun Zenith for you. I am going to draw a card now because if I can impact... Okay, I was going to say if I could impact their mana situation by killing a creature here, I want to do it. One of these monks will die end of turn. And if I draw Unholy Heat, then I can still hit their Delighted Halfling to stunt their mana. All right, let's draw Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat, please. No, I saw the red card and got excited. That would have been such a good play. Oh well, at least I knew to try to play to it. Yeah, them not blocking the Ocelot Pride I thought was kind of weird, but that also is what triggered me to think that their mana was incredibly important here. Uh-oh, is this a Titania? Titania would be very bad for me. Okay, it is a Titania. Oh, they didn't strip mine first. Oops. Yep. Okay, well. This deck has been so much fun to play. Even if I lose here, it's just been an absolute pleasure playing this deck. Okay, last card is Island. They're just still not strip mining me. Okay. I think I want to try to dig for an answer. I guess I could Amped Raptor first and see what I hit. I don't remember exactly. I know Fire Covenant would be a bad hit here if I hit it off Amped Raptor. I can't think of another immediate bad one, so I'm just gonna Amped Raptor, and if I hit it, then great. If not, that's fine. Because now I can clamp this Amped Raptor. Bowmasters, okay. I don't mind a Bowmasters here. I guess we're hitting them. Also, I don't know if we get a bigger orc token or just a second one with the Ocelot. I don't know how that works. I know Amass, you just keep doing it, but I don't know how Ocelot Pride works with it. Okay, I have sorcery, instant, creature. Oh no, okay, I'm a land away from that. So maybe I should have hit that with the Titania. I do apologize for taking my sweet time here. Let's undo. Let's just play this, because I can still put a land in the yard because the Surveil Triumph. Draw removal? Nope. But now we can Kroxa. Yeah, I'm just going to Kroxa here. Oh no, Artifact would be... Okay, so I can actually still hit the Unholy Heat, because Artifact will be a 4th type to kill the Titania. Okay, I did hit the Unholy Heat. That's nice. And I guess I'll take Fire Covenant. I'll just take the Strip Mine. I already played my land, unfortunately, but... And I do want to draw a card. I'm very greedy. I know. Mishra's Bauble. Okay. Let's take that out. They'll make a 5/3, I assume. Okay. Good game. That was fun. Sorry, I really didn't want to mess that up. I felt like it was my game to lose. It would have been nice to not have to play my land to do all that, because then I could have strip mined their Cradle, but I would have done so, obviously, after the Titania. But I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 2. Here we are on the play. We don't have mana for the Containment Priest, which may or may not be relevant. But we do have mana for Malcolm, and we can even play a Skull Clamp. We could also Dark Confidant. So yeah, I'm going to keep this and just hope that we're not playing against Reanimator, since we don't have white currently. And I am just going to play Skull Clamp. It means we have to shock the Steam Vents for the Dark Confidant, but I think that's fine. And who knows, maybe we draw another card. Okay, well, this doesn't produce black naturally. So we have to have the Steam Vents in order to make it do that. But I could also just settle for Malcolm. Yeah, I'll settle for Malcolm. That might be wrong. Dark Confidant as soon as possible might be better. But at least this way, if they have removal, they have to use it on... Oh, yep, there we go. Okay, cool. Let's just Malcolm now. Yep, let's start us off with an attack. Hopefully we draw a white source. Okay, we did. I will gladly discard this island. I'll discard the steam vents, actually. Oh no, that was even worse. I should have discarded the Dark Confidant. I don't know how I wanted to do this, but I could have discarded one of my 2-drops and then held up Containment Priest because this gets Godless Shrine, and then unearth the Dark Confidant there. But all right, I don't think they're. I mean, I guess they could still be. All right, I'll play scared. That's fine. I have the piece. I'd rather just be extra careful. I hate that I flubbed that. I just saw so many lands and didn't want to draw more lands. But I have that play for next turn if I want it. This might just get my Savai Triome. It could also get my Undercity Sewers. But I think it needs to get my Savai Triome for white. Oh, Urza's Saga. Okay. That's a card. I guess I could still just get Godless Shrine so I can flash in the Containment Priest immediately. Bone Shards. Okay. Let's see if they have a Reanimate. Please have an Animate dead. No! Well... let's Containment Priest. If they have a kill spell, I hope that they kill it now, because then I can unearth it. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Dark Confidant. Let's Skull Clamp the Containment Priest, because this way if they kill it... So if they killed it in response and we couldn't draw a card, I could just pop the Dark Confidant immediately if I wanted to. But this way... Let's see, what flasher could they have? Felia? Felia would be really bad, but we have Unearth, so that's fine. Yep, okay. Uh-oh. Well, that sounds like they're going to get a removal spell, but hopefully it means they can't remove and reanimate the Grave Titan in the same turn. And then we can just unearth the Containment Priest back. Okay. This looks like a Swords of the Plowshares, which is going to be horrible because we can't unearth the Containment Priest and we don't draw 2 cards. Oh, that. Okay. Awesome. I guess I'm going to bobble first. See what they're drawing. Okay. Unearth, target the priest. I'll Baleful Strix, and then I'll probably just pop the Baleful Strix immediately. Okay, well that was a punish for playing my land first. I'll just put it here. And then I will attack with the Dark Confidant. Also, Skull Clamp Dark Confidant's really nice because now if I get too low, I can just equip the Dark Confidant. Alright, well, if they just make a token here, I'm happy. I mean, a 3/3 is not the end of the world, and even if they play another artifact, I can still Flame Slash it. Soul Ring's a big one. I'm glad that's not an untapped land, otherwise they can just play the Virtue, which, yes, Containment Priest is in play, but if they have any removal spell... Okay, good game. Fantastic. I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 3. Here we have all 4 colors of Magic, or of our deck, I should specify. And we even have turn 2 Corey Steelcutter into Mishra's Bauble if we want it. But I think I'd rather just play Dark Confidant. It obviously depends on what they do, though, so let's keep. Something I could do as well, I don't have to get Triumph with Flooded Strands, so I could leave up Swords to Plowshares. I'm going to save the Bauble in case I want a Corey Steelcutter. I don't need to Bauble now. I have another land. Oh, okay. Sure. Attack for 0. So here I probably will just get the Triumph then. That's even better. Yeah, I think I'm just, oh, you know what? I could just, I could just kill the Nethergoyf, and then that makes their Reckoner a lot worse. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, Orcish Bowmasters was a good draw. I'm still going to save the Bauble. And if they kill the Bowmasters, I have Corey Steelcutter into Unearth. Which they do. Okay. That's fine. Are they going to draw now? Drawing now is fine. Drawing later is also fine. Play the land. This lets me attack for 2 as well. This deck is very fun to play. I guess I'm attacking for 4. Because of the... Oh, they let the Orcish Bowmasters resolve before drawing. Oops. It's okay, I've made mistakes like that before too. It happens, especially on digital. So we still have swords for an oopsies. And even if we don't, we still have Bauble Dark Confidant to trigger. And if we do have something to swords, then we can swords, Bauble, trigger, and then still buy Lurrus, which is actually really nice. Opponent is in the tank as to what to take. The One Ring, okay. It's not going to do a whole lot without a Dark Ritual or a Mox effect. And even then, we have Orcish Bowmasters. Oh, that's fine. We're a Lurrus deck. We don't care about Inquisition. Sure. That's probably the best take. Yep. Sure. Containment Priest. Okay, good game. I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 4. All right, well, we have another turn 2 Orcish Bowmasters or Dark Confidant. We will keep. We are on the draw, which is unfortunate. Our opponent did mulligan. Fetch land, go. What a coincidence. We will also fetch land, go. I think it was really cool that they printed Prismatic Vista. Not just in this client, just in general. Like having a 5 basic untapped fetch land like Evolving Wilds, just untapped instead of tapped always, is just really cool. Okay, double fetching. They got Swamp off the first one and Undercity Sewers off the second. Okay. I'm glad we already have the Hollowed Fountain for the blue, because I really want to get the Mardu land here, the Savai Triumph. I could get Undercity Sewers. Maybe that's the choice. It's just awkward not having double red because the Quarry Steel Cutter, but I think I will. Don't need the star. Oh. Yeah, sure, why not? And then now we have Unholy Hita, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. I hope that they don't just like Entomb reanimate us. Okay, they did not. Hopefully they're just playing like a value blue-black frog style deck, as much as I don't want to see a Psychic Frog. I would not mind playing against that archetype, though. Destroying either of these is not the end of the world. Okay. I kind of want to counter that. Is that sad? I mean, I could counter the back end of it. That's what I mean. But yeah, that's fine. I could play the Restless, but I'd like to double spell here, and I want Dark Confidant to hit the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Dark Confidant, and then I'm going to shock in the Hollowed Fountain. Play the Orcish Bowmasters so that it triggers my Quarry Steel Cutter. As much as I would like to wait for it. But I don't think there's a reason to not do an extra 2 points of damage. Well, I'm glad Library's in their hand with only 4 cards. Metamorph for the Orcish Bowmasters is annoying, I will admit. We don't have a second red, so if I amped Raptor, it's not... Oh. Okay. It's not guaranteed to be able to kill the Orcish Bowmasters, and I want to get into some more attacks here. I could Strip Mine. I don't hate that. Let's see what Amped Raptor hits, and hopefully it hits something good and not like Fire Covenant or something I can't cast. It's the Fire Covenant. Okay. Yeah, here I'm just going to Strip Mine them. Take them off the blue-black. Let's attack with these. Yep, that makes sense. Now they have to like play the land, like swamp specifically if they want a Sheoldred or the One Ring. The One Ring would be kind of annoying. Oh, Emperor of Bones. Okay, and they don't have double black to activate it yet. I assume Orcish Bowmasters is gone. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. This is making the Lurrus worse and worse. And this is what I was talking about during the draft. Like, Emperor of Bones could just be very strong sometimes. Strong enough that I'm going to... Oh, I don't have double red, so I can't double spell again. That is so frustrating. But I'm tired of them eating my things, and I don't want them to be able to reanimate, so let's just do that. And here, I think I'm supposed to play the Courtyard. Oh, no, this is not the Verge. This is a Courtyard. Okay. So I guess I'd rather get double red into play than double white. Yeah, it's very annoying that I can't buy my Lurrus here. Just attack for 5, keep threatening their life total. We're not actually drawing cards. There's not a Skull Clamp or anything, fortunately, yet. Yep, okay. I would not scoff at a Containment Priest at this point. They discarded a Grief. That's good for us. Phantasmal Image for another Orcish Bowmasters? That's annoying. Yep, killing the Amped Raptor. That seems like a mistake. Why would you not kill the Dark Confidant? Yeah, that seems like a mistake, but I'm not going to complain. Let's stock up. They could have a draw 7. That might be what they're getting at. I don't really want any of these cards. I guess I'd rather hit the real one. And then here I'll play this so I can start gaining life next turn. Okay, that means they probably don't have a draw 7 because they don't make that block if they have a draw 7 because then they can ping me for 7 and then attack for a bunch. They still don't have double black. So they need a swamp in order to cast the Virtue. Okay, now they kill it. That makes sense. But they did it post-combat, so they can't even attack now. I do want to start exiling things in the yard. That's what this does, right? Oh no, just defending player loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Sure. Remember, I can double spell with the Lingering Souls by itself next turn. This, I think, just does the most amount of damage the fastest. So now they have to block the 3/3, which means they die anyways. So yeah, good game. All right, I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 5. If we win this one, we are in the money, so to speak. And we have a turn 2 Corey Steelcutter activation. So yeah, let's keep. We even get to starting town and leave up swords if we want. That might be worth it. Why not? I want to play it in the first couple of turns anyways, because how starting town works. I think it's kind of free to leave up the swords there. And if we shock now, we don't have to pay the damage now, and we mace off the shock later. Notably, they could have Mana Tithe here, and I know that seems maybe funny to try to play around, but let's just play this tapped and say go. I don't think there's a reason to get blown out by Mana Tithe. I think Corey Steelcutter is just very strong. And I don't want it to get Mana Tithed. Okay, well, this makes me feel a little bit better. And we can still hold up swords, which is nice. I hope they have the Mana Tithe and they're just like, I hate this person. That's my hope. It may be silly to some people because I do play around Mana Tithe a lot. But like I said, I think Corey Steelcutter is just strong enough that I don't think there's a reason to chance it. Oh, Felia. And again, I'm going to continue playing around the Mana Tithe because I've already committed to that. So I might as well just kill this now before they can interact. Yes, I could have had a better hit, but I still want to wait till their turn. I could still have a better hit. Also, arguably, I should have done that before I swordsed. Okay. But I think if I'm gonna make that line to make that potential card useless in their hand, I might as well continue playing to that. going back and forth, I don't think is the correct way to do it. Oh, my apologies. I don't know if I can say sorry. Anyway, oh, Flage. Okay, Flage doesn't do much here. And now I can Night's Whisper into Skull Clamp. Or I can Kroxa into Skull Clamp, but Kroxa helps them get to the Flage, so I'd rather wait until they get, like, down to a card or two. So let's Night's Whisper. Hopefully I draw a land off this. Okay, I did. I'm obviously going to play my land. And I think I do want to Skull Clamp here, and then just equip it to the token and attack. I was debating if I want to leave up Malcolm. I just don't think that's correct. I think just beating down is where I want to be at. Now I have double blue to consider Dig Through Time in the future. I don't have double black to Kroxa twice, unfortunately. Okay, well, I will eventually now. I could double spell again, but I can't really attack without killing this. So what I can do is I can attack now for 3. And then I can double spell, and then I'll draw 2 more cards after I change to the equip. I could also just continue waiting, but they don't have anything in the yard. I could also just buy Lurrus. I'll just buy the Lurrus, why not? I think the double spell into drawing a card would be decent. Oh, but they're just going to do that anyways. Cool. I get to draw 2 cards anyways. That's fantastic. And Lotus Petal makes it really easy to double spell. Yeah, this Corey Steelcutter was such a good pick. I'm so glad I got that. Okay, I don't have a 0. Okay, they don't. Did not hit removal. This would be a fantastic Swords to Plowshares target. Let's Kroxa, see what they discard. Also, this is one of the reasons why I'm just not a huge fan of Reckoner Bankbuster. They just haven't had a chance to use it. And I can't Kroxa, right? Or I guess I could Kroxa again. I could Kroxa again. Because I could Lurrus. Or I guess I could just unearth it too, but I'd rather save the... I'd rather save it. So that'll trigger. Take. Play the Petal Kroxa? Yeah, I think I like that. It just decreases the chances of them being able to double spell next turn. And I think that's what I want to do. Not to mention now I can just do it again the following turn and flash it back for real if I want to clamp a Malcolm or something. Okay, that attack doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, they're not double spelling us. Unless they have 2 1-drops here, I guess, exactly. Oh, second 1-drop? That would be horrible. Oh, if they're just equipping, that's fine. I was going to say, an attack doesn't make a lot of sense there. Get their last card out of their hand, maybe? There's a couple ways I can go about this. I do like just getting their last card out of hand, even though it's feeding their Flage. Okay, it was a land. Let's see what they want to do with this information. I'm okay with a trade because we also draw 3 and then, or draw 2, I mean. Okay, that's fine because we have Unearth. Because I'm just going to Unearth back the Lurrus now, and then I can get back the Bauble if I want it. I guess unearthing the... Yeah, I should not unearth the Lurrus yet. Let's see what I draw here. Sure. Let's equip here because it's free. I don't have any instant speed anything up anyways. All right, hopefully they just... Yep, okay, awesome. That's what I was hoping for. Yep, kill the Baleful Strix, that's fine. Mana Crypt? Interesting. Oh, because they can Reckoner now. That's fine. Let's see what we want to bin. And or potentially draw. Okay, no. Alright, so now we can Fire Covenant. And still flashback Kroxa. Also, they did not have the Mana Tithe. Obviously, we found that out eventually, but again, I still stand by my plays and why I did it. And I do think it was correct, ultimately. Do I just want to end this game? Probably. Okay, and I guess I want the Lotus Petal the least at this point. And now I can attack. Now, because of the... I am going to switch this over. 1, I can attack for more, but 2, remember, this Monk will draw me 2 cards at the end of turn. Because it'll go back to being a 1/1. Which I think is really nice. And we did that play earlier, too. Yep, they will draw a card. That's fine. They're going to take a ton of damage. I'm going to draw 2 more cards. They're likely not going to be able to flashback Flage. And they took 3. This deck has just been so much fun. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Staff of the Storyteller, okay. Now I assume they're going to use Mana Crypt to draw another card. Oh, okay. I guess that's less mana, but colorless mana is a lot harder to use. So I might have started off with the Reckoner first. Just because 4 mana. Like, if you have a lot of 5-drops in your deck, then maybe that makes sense. But even if you only have, like, 1 or 2, it's probably not worth it. Okay, well, they're making a board. Unfortunately, I think it's a little too late. Too late. There we go. Words are important, Edward. Sure. That's fine. I mean, they're going to go to 2 off of the attack alone. I don't think I want to strip mine. That just gets them closer to Flage. Oh, this gives trample, doesn't it? Let's make a token. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, I was going to equip to the Kroxa anyways, but... Yeah, alright, that was very fun. And we are in the money now. I believe that was 5 wins so far. So I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 6. Alright, well, we're on the play, and we have Containment Priest or Orcish Bowmaster, so that's nice. Yeah, we're going to keep. I'm going to lead off with Courtyard, I think. I could also lead off with Island to play around a Wasteland effect. I can't play anything else anyways, and Island can be scary sometimes or a deterrent. No. Okay, well, they get to take whatever the best one is. But if that's the case, I mean, if they take Containment Priest, I'm going to be infinitely more scared, I'm not going to lie, than if they take Bowmaster or Night's Whisper. But I think my best line here moving forward is going to be just strip mining their land. Yeah, that Thoughtseize was brutal for us. Looks like they're looking at the Bowmasters and the Night's Whispers, which makes me feel a little bit better. Oh no, they took the Priest. Oh man. All right. And luckily, I don't think it's going to be relevant, but these Concealing Courtyard style cards, the fast lands, aren't like Starting Town. It just cares about lands in general. So I can play this on turn 4 untapped if I want to at this stage. Oh, this is brutal. They know about the Orcish Bowmasters, but I think I still should leave it up instead of tapping out for Night's Whisper. Since theoretically I could Night's Whisper next turn for a Swords to Plowshares effect. Okay, and they don't know about the Ocelot Pride, so Orcish Bowmasters, if they destroy it, it might leave the way clear for Ocelot Pride. Let's attack and see what happens first. They could have their own Orcish Bowmasters here, and that would be horrible. Okay, they don't. Night's Whisper. Ooh, I can get back Containment Priest now? I mean, they took the Containment Priest. That tells me that I should probably respect it. So this might be a punish. I don't know, but I'm gonna take the Containment Priest. Notably, if I do Lurrus, it casts the card. Oh, interesting. All right, let's see what they get rid of. They seem to be tanking. This is something that, if you're going to make this play, you should probably know what you're discarding before you play the season. Okay, they do seem to be some type of reanimate strategy. That is good to know. I think I just want to buy Lurrus, so next turn I can Lurrus replay Containment Priest. I could Flame Slash the Seasoned Pyromancer. I just don't think that's needed. And I'd rather leave this to get either the Mardu land tapped if I want, other than instead of shocking in the Steam Vents to Flame Slash this turn. Hopefully they don't have Removal Spell and Reanimate, which they could easily have here in 4 cards. 3 cards. Unburial Rites isn't enough because that doesn't leave them enough mana to deal with the Containment Priest. Also, currently, they're just going to get back Generous with the Sin, so it's not the end of the world. I'll just take the 2, I think. And here I think I am just going to get the Mardu land. I know I have a ton of white sources. I could get Steam Vents tapped, I suppose, because then I can have double blue for something like Dig. Maybe that is what I'm supposed to do. Just get the Steam Vents anyways, just get it tapped. Because I want the red. Like, I need to have red mana. And immediately rewarded with the dig through time. Well, now I can Lurrus back the Orcish Bowmasters. They know about the Lurrus. I'm not blocking with the Containment Priest, so I am going to attack. And if they do kill it, I can just cast it back with the Lurrus, because I have triple white. I think this is free damage. Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable. If they have like fire, which I don't think is in this cube, or fire magic, whatever, then that's fine. Here, I think I am going to... So I could either leave up Dig Through Time, but... there's so many options here. Maybe leaving up Dig Through Time is the best option. Okay, I'll leave up Dig Through Time for one more for this turn. That way, in case they like, if they have like a Harvester of Misery, it just blows me out so hard, and I don't want to get blown out by a Harvester of Misery here. And that's a card they 100% could have, and they didn't do anything with their mana, so that makes me feel even better. That's fine. I'll block it this time. Remember, I have Dark Confidant effects. I have Fire Covenant. I don't want to just be taking 2 every turn for no reason. Dark Ritual. Okay. Let's see what they're doing. Oh, Gristlebrand. Gristlebrand can be scary. Those 4. It looks like I should have Lurrused, but oh well. Blue, blue, white, black. All right, unfortunately, it looks like I missed. Hardcast Gristlebrand, eh? Yeah, I was going to say, if they don't draw 7 now, they're going to be in trouble. Okay, we did get the Unholy Heat, but we don't have... We have instant flash. Okay, so I could, in theory, trigger this, but I don't have the double red, so none of that's relevant. Okay, got it. Let's see what my top card is. I don't think knowing their top card's relevant, and like if the top card is Swords, then I'm really gonna regret playing the oops. I'm gonna really regret playing Lurrus Bowmasters. Top card is Stock Up. At least this will prevent them from drawing 7 again, probably. Man, the Dark Ritual there was insane. If I had double red, I could make a play with the Unholy Heat Flame Slash, but did not. Inquisition literally doesn't matter. I guess they take Stock Up here, so it does matter. Never mind. They should take Stock Up here. I don't imagine, like, none of these other choices are good. I don't have double red, so even if I could get to, which I could, get to Unholy Heat for 6 and then Flame Slash to finish off the Gristlebrand, Stock Up finds more answers that I could possibly have. So if I'm seeing this hand, I'm taking Stock Up, and I'm not even questioning it. Kroxa and Ocelot Pride don't make a lot of sense because the lure. Okay. Flame Slash. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, to finish my thought process, Lingering Souls isn't even like a discarding me a card because it's now just a cheaper Lingering Souls, so. Well, let's see what they have. Remember, they can't cheat anything into play still. Oh, Toxic Deluge. Okay. Yep, now they can draw 7, and that's probably going to hit the red source, maybe. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I think I'm just going to stock up for swords at this point. Remember, Unearth is gone, so I'm not getting back my Lurrus. But Toxic Deluge was... Oh, no. Okay. Probably going to hit a Wasteland 2 on the way out. Yep, it sure did. That was fantastic for them. Yeah, this is probably a loss now. Even if I stock up hits my Swords to Plowshares, it's just not looking good. Yeah. All right. Good game. I will see you next round. Welcome to round 8. Sorry, I think this is round 7. My apologies. Welcome to round 7. Opponent goes first. I think this hand is fine. Luckily, we have Dark Confidant and Skull Clamp and everything, so even if Dig Through Time is kind of a non-card, Skull Clamp hopefully will make up for it. Okay, opponent opening up with Giver of Runes. I'm just going to play the Verge into Skull Clamp here. Generous Plunderer. Remember, this doesn't make black without me shocking in Steam Vents. But I don't have another play outside of Strip Mine if I do that. And I don't think it's appropriate to Strip Mine, so let's just play it. Let's just run out the Dark Confidant. I'm going to take some damage here. But that's probably fine. They likely give me a treasure. Yep. And I can't block the Generous Plunderer here, so I'm going to take 4 at least. Hopefully Dark Confidant is kind to us. Leia. Okay, well, hopefully I find a removal spell for the Leia, because Leia and Generous Plunderer together are going to be a problem. Obviously, if this wasn't a 3-3, I would be blocking right now. But I'm not going to throw away Dark Confidant just to save 3 damage. I think I'd rather take 2 chances at drawing removal, which we have Chain Lightning, Flame Slash, Unholy Heat, and Swords to Plowshares, to name a few. Fire Covenant would actually be kind of insane still. We would take a lot of damage, but it'd be well worth it. Okay, nope. And nope. All right, well, that's unfortunate. Do we just stock up then, maybe? Or I can Lingering Souls to kind of buy time as well. I'm going to stock up. I don't want to use the treasure if I don't have to. Okay, well, I did find 2 removal spells. Am I supposed to just take Baleful Strix, though, actually? I'm going to take Baleful Strix Chain Lightning. And then I'm going to Chain Lightning the Leia, because that, 1, makes it that Generous Plunder hits us for less. And 2, oh, I'm an idiot. I completely forgot about the Giver of Runes. That's fine. I don't think we're coming back from this. I'm just going to concede. Good game. Yeah, let's just go to the next one. Hopefully I can get that one. All right, now we are in round 8. And I'm going to hope that I don't tilt off this 5-0 start. That last game was pretty embarrassing. Let's see. I think here I am definitely going to keep. I am glad that I'm on the play. It seems like I have not been on the play more than one other time, I think. But yeah, let's play the Savai Triumph. This lets us play Gloom Lake. If they Wasteland here, then it's whatever, honestly. Yeah, that's fine. Luckily, this taps for blue naturally. So the Black Cleave Cliff still makes black for the Baleful Strix. So I still have my colors. That's fine. Draw a card. Hopefully I hit a land. Did not. All right, what 3-drop? No, Tifa is not what I expected. Okay. Hopefully they don't have a fetch line next turn. Oh, Dark Confidant. I mean, sorry, Lotus Petal. Yeah, let's just blow up their board. That seems great. But I guess I can do that on their turn. No, I want to deny their mana too. So 5. This is why Fire Covenant is so strong. Attack for 1. Alright, hopefully I draw a land here, but if I don't, then oh well, I'll just play Dark Confidant. Okay, I did. Still going to play Dark Confidant. I'm going to leave Baleful Strix back. I don't want to take extra damage if I don't have to. Hopefully they don't have Natural Order here. That would be very annoying. Titania is just as bad. Oh, man. Titania was brutal. I'm really about to 5-3 this draft after starting off 5-0. I have all 3 colors. Yeah, Steam Vents is the one you want to hit, which they did. Okay, there we go. Star into land. Let's hit Swords the Plowshares. Hit Swords. Come on, hit Swords one time. Unholy Heat does not get there at all. Wow. Can't hit them either. Alright, whatever. Play the Star. No blocks. Now, I can... If they don't have a fetch land here, I can still block down their Titania and their token. Nexus of Becoming. All right. That's scary. Don't put into play an Emrakul, please. Put into play like a 3/3 Bauble. I did that once. Okay, that one's kind of net neutral. And they don't have a land? Or do they have a land? Okay, they do have a land. But that's fine. Oh, sure. Swords! No, I saw the white card and got excited. At this point, I feel like I'm just being teased. I still need to find white. Undo. So, I want to... Do I stock up first? Yeah, because I need to hit a land, too. Okay, well, I have Chain Lightning, at least. To hit... Titania, probably. Which means I don't have the blue for the dig, but that's fine. There's the swords. Okay. Well, let's hit the Titania, because this doesn't give trample, right? Yeah, that's fine. Let's hit the Titania. No attacks. Luckily, that was a plains for my Swords to Plowshares. So next turn I could potentially Lurrus and then Swords, or I could Croaks if they have 1 card left in hand. That's fine. We have a Baleful Strix. As long as it doesn't have trample, I don't care. Please don't hit an Emrakul. A Mere Battlesphere? Okay. Imagine if we had Containment Priest. Alright, well at least we get to Swords the Mere Battlesphere. And then put Lurrus in hand for another 1/1 probably. Alright, just hit a land, please. I'm tired of taking damage. That's an Unearth. Unearth just hits Baleful Strix right now. They do have 1 last card in hand. just going to Swords that before it hits me for 1,000,000. Oh yeah, this only makes blue, doesn't it? Oh no, does this make... This only makes blue, right? Okay, yeah, it only makes blue. Sorry. Am I supposed to just draw 2 more cards, but then, like, attacks don't seem great? I mean, I guess attacks don't seem great anyways. All right, land spell, please. What does this get me? I know it gets me Godless Shrine, but I don't want to shock if I don't have to. Okay, so I do kind of need to shock. That's fine. Pay 2 life. Ocelot Pride. And then let's unearth the Baleful Strikes, which I probably should have done first. That was a mistake. Okay, it didn't matter. And even better, we have a blue source now. All right, let's see if we can dodge another turn. Not that we've been dodging. Our opponents have kind of had mono hits, but they haven't been world-breaking, or at least we've been able to keep parity. Okay. Didn't want a 3/3 Chocobo, I guess. Yeah, I was just about to say. Our opponent oopsed us if you missed that, if you're just listening. Okay, a 3/3 Ignoble Hierarch. I would really like to draw a Containment Priest, but also hopefully we dodge Crater of Behemoth out of our opponent's deck. Attacking me with the 1/4 kind of makes sense, I guess, but I'll just take the 1. I don't want them flashing that back to be a 4/4. Oh, it's 2 now. Oh, you know what? I think I will block because they have this mighty whatever. Maybe they should have attacked with more then. Yep, that's fine. Can I double Cruxa? No. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit all these lands first, I guess. All right, let's see what we get. Orcish does kind of help, and Flame Slash gets rid of the doubler guy. Double their power, yeah, okay. There we go. And this happens before combat, so I will get another Orcish token, so I think I am supposed to just Orcish and then clamp the Orc. Now keep in mind, they can save the Chocobo, so I think I'm supposed to just kill a 1/1. Just getting things off the board seemed really good for us. Okay. No attacks. Remember, we get another 1/1 to chump the 4/4 with later. I'm surprised they're not cracking their fetch. Maybe their last card in hand is Crater Hoof and they wanted to draw a land. Because they currently have 7 mana. No? Okay, well, this is Crater Hoof if they have it. And if that was their last card in hand, not playing the Croaks is going to be punishing, but I think that is fine. Alright, let's kill another mirror. Okay, I'm just going to assume that they don't have the Crater Hoof at this point, because they've had a lot of opportunities to play it. Yep. Free block is free. If it wasn't a 5/5, I could consider blocking it down for more, but I don't think we should. Oh, Containment Priest was a great draw. Put Lurrus in hand. Let's play the starting town. Oh, wait, this says non-token. That's not a great draw, because this says token, doesn't it? Yeah, so this doesn't stop it. That's so frustrating. I really do think their last card in hand is a land, but I guess just in case, I'll play this. This doesn't gain flying eventually, does it? Protection from each of your opponents. Oh, that's brutal. Okay, it was a land. Alright, well, we may just be dead to that now. That's too bad. I like when I did the Fire Covenant. Yeah, they're just going to be able to flip this next turn. That's so bad for us. So close, yet no cigar. Only have 6 cards left in deck anyways, which is kind of funny. Yep. Are they going to attack with more? I guess actually I would still lose out, but I really wish Containment Priest worked against this, but I'm dead to this guy anyways. Yep. Good game. All right, well, that was a very disappointing end to that draft. I started off 5-0, paused, went and got some lunch, came back, and just proceeded to 0-3. So I guess in a way I did 0-3. Some of that was my fault. Our opponent curved out well, drew well, etc. Just didn't line up, and that's honestly a cost of playing a deck like this. Sometimes your cards don't line up well, or sometimes they just go over the top of you or curve out when you're just trying to play incremental advantage. But with that said, this was still one of the most fun decks I've ever drafted. And I would 100%, even though there's no power in this deck, I would 100% play this 40 for 40 again in the next draft if I could. So I appreciate you guys watching. I don't know if there's anything I could necessarily change, but yeah, sorry, I don't have a whole lot more. I think this deck it did what it was designed to do. We got to play value. We got to abuse Skull Clamp. We got to use Lurrus a couple times. The Strip Mine, came into play a couple times as well. And yeah, I mean, the deck, I think, lived up to its expectations. And I don't have much else to say, but I hope you guys have a good night. All right, welcome back to another episode of What's on Edward's Wall. Today's card I'm going to talk about is Brian Koval's, aka Boschenroll. He signed me a Monastery Mentor, which is, if those that have been watching his content or just overall career knows that Brian is very much known for this card, and so much so that when he won an SCG Invitational, I know, I'm sorry for the command strip on the back, but he had his own monk token created, and he signed one for those. He signed one of those for me as well. I'm sorry that the signature is kind of covered up by the command strip, but because I want to be able to, plug and play these. Basically, I try to keep light cards with light cards. Like you can kind of see a bunch of storm cards here. You got the oath cards and flash, stuff, etc. So anyways, as I get new cards, I try to keep them somewhat together. So and since I'm kind of going in a little bit of an order on my wall, like the next card next to this Monastery Mentor is Gush. Kudos, put in the comments who you think the Gush is signed by, and anyways, it should be fairly obvious, but moving back to Brian. So like I said, Brian signed with this Monastery Mentor. I don't know Brian like personally, but I have talked with them a few times. They've helped me advertise the land run a couple times. I played them at multiple tournaments at this point. And I did mention in a previous video about my very first Eternal Weekend, which was 2019. Starting off 6-0, I was on Survival of the Fittest. I know you can't see it, but it's right next to my recall art on the wall. And I was on the Survival of the Fittest, Vengevine, Hollow One. It played like Thalias and like a Bant aggro shell, Phantasmal Image, stuff like that. It was really cool, a lot of fun. And anyways, so I got paired up against Brian in round 7. Obviously, we're both 6-0. The winner gets the double draw in. And I assembled a board that presented a Orcish not Orcish Bowmasters. Why did I say Orcish Bowmasters? Sorry, Collector Oof. Don't know why I said Orcish Bowmasters. I had Collector Oof in play, and Brian was on the new tech for PO, the Grape Shot. And both games that Brian beat me, I had the sorry, got ahead of myself. The game that Brian beat me, I believe it was game 3. I could be wrong. But I had Mindbreak Trap in my hand with a Collector Oof in play. And unfortunately, Mindbreak Trap gets Force of Willed pretty easily. And my friend Nick Price was like, hey, you should play Flusterstorms like in the future because that doesn't get Force of Willed, And it kind of does the same thing. Obviously, they're not exact cards, but he suggested that. Anyways, so Brian grape shotted. I went to Mindbreak Trap, and Brian Force of Willed, and I was like, all right, cool, good game, I guess. And Brian got the double draw into top 8 there, and I had to play another round. And the exact same scenario happened against my next round opponent, and where I had Collector Oof, and they did the Grape Shot. There we go. Grape Shotted my Collector Oof, and obviously the rest at me. And I had Mindbreak Trap. That's why I said 2 earlier. Different match, though. But anyways, same exact scenario. Mindbreak Trapped, and guess what they had? They had Force of Will. So, yeah, that was fun, to say the least. But I did get the split prizes in the following round. I got paired against Dan Miller, which I don't think you can see his card yet. Oh, yeah, you kind of can. Dan's this Pithing Needle down here I'll get to eventually. Unfortunately, there's a lot in the way, but yeah, anyways, so I get paired against Dan Miller, and Dan Miller calls aside, talks to the judge. We ended up splitting. But anyways, back to Brian. So fast forward a bit, and I kind of already, I apologize for people that have only seen this video, because I've talked about this a lot, and I don't want to keep repeating myself for the ones that are watching every video, but COVID happened. I wanted cards to get signed, whatever. Anyways, so Brian was nice enough to sign this card for me out of his actual vintage deck. which I really appreciated. I'm very glad that they did that for me, so I can say that I have an actual Brian Koval wall, or card on my wall. And as you can see, personalized it and put Monk and Roll on it, and I really appreciate that. They even dated it for me. But another story, where I played against Brian again, at the New York Stacks Exchange event. I started off, I think it was 3-0. I think it was 6 rounds, 7. I don't remember if it was 6 rounds or 7 rounds, but either way, I get to a point where I can double draw it again if I win this round, and I get paired down, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess it doesn't ultimately matter because you should just win, but I did kind of feel bad that I was paired down because I felt like that made it to where I had the worst breakers maybe. So like I felt more pressure to win because like, I don't know, I was afraid like X1 might not be good enough or whatever. There's another tournament where I was X1-1 and didn't make top 8 in this Flash tournament I'll talk about later. But anyways, so my opponent, who ended up winning the Black Lotus that year, which was the year after Brian won. So I think it was the 9th, New York Stacks Exchange, the 9th tournament. Anyways, game 3, I don't remember who was on the play, but game 3, my opponent, her Ancestral recalls that I'm playing Raker Shops. They recall themselves. They have Sapphire, Pearl, Lavinia, and play it, and I eventually die to Wasteland because I can't cast any of my spells due to Lavinia and not having lands in play. So I get paired against Brian Koval again, for another, the winner probably top 8s, and the loser doesn't. And I'm like, all right, hopefully this time I'll be able to do it. And I remember because Brian likes to do like his tournament action report. And I remember watching it after it came out, and even Brian admitted he had a guess, but he didn't 100% know what I was on, and that's how badly he just beat the brakes off me. Brian just high rolled me, and I didn't get to play Magic, and he got to do his thing 2 rounds in a row, or 2 games in a row. So yeah, that was a pretty dramatic ending of my tournament where my opponent just goes, in 3 games in a row, my opponent goes like Lavinia, like Wasteland lock me, and then the Brian Koval games where he admitted that he didn't even know what I was playing. So yeah, that was fun. Brian likes to steamroll me, but you know what? Monk and roll, baby. But yeah, again, I know I'm not personal friends with Brian. Like we don't hang out on the weekends or whatever, but Brian, if you ever do watch this, I appreciate you, buddy, and everything you do for the community and whatnot. And I'm glad I got this card from you. I really appreciate it. So hopefully you don't mind me sharing that story with everyone. I'm sure you appreciate it when people talk about how badly you beat them. But anyways, the next one's mine, okay? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good night.